Back with another episode, number I think it's 15 or 16, I don't know. Today's guest is Josh Law. You're here to tell us about the stuff that pisses you off. So go for it, my man.
In today's world of social media, one of the first ones that came to mind has got to be people that only compete for wanting the reason of competing. They have no love for training. They have no love for not even their physical development. It's a love for the attention on Instagram more than anything else. Social media. That got to be my first pet peeve, should I say?
I think that's just a product of 2022. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like something I've noticed as well. I don't know if this bothers you, Josh. Being a successful bodybuilder like you are, it doesn't seem to matter about your accolades. It doesn't see what matters is how you can market yourself. And so, do you know what I mean? And does that bother you?
Um, it doesn't bother me because I personally will still respect the guys for who they are. If I could have my way, which I never would, I wish it could go back to the old UK BFF of the British final, one pro card, one a year. The best guy got it, and then everyone else had to go back in the gym, train hard again for another year, and then try again next year. That was my personal favourite time with bodybuilding. Even at that time, I didn't feel like I was anywhere near good enough because I wasn't, and I was still trying to find somewhere in NABA. And then even then, the guys that won NABA, Amph Bales at the time, I was a junior. Amph Bales pretty much won every NABA competition there was, and social media wasn't a thing then. But everyone knew who Amph Bales was, knew what he'd won. He then went on to the UK BFF, first time trying and won his pro card. But yeah, in today's world, it's straight into I'm going to prep for a show that I've not even trained for. I've been in the gym for 3 months and I'm going to do my first show. I think I did my first show, started training when I was 15. All right, I didn't know what I was doing. Started in the gym at 15, progressed and sort of found my feet, and then did my first junior show at 18. So and then it went
Yeah,
from there.
it's
I think that's mostly like classic guys and like physique guys that say that shit though, because you don't see bodybuilders say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna win my pro card," or do you like, or at least I don't notice it as much.
I, I I definitely think that it's a thing. Like I see a lot of people who have no business talking about it. When I say a lot, when I say a lot, I mean more like I've seen at least 10 people talking within this season, this competitive season, saying, I'm going to be battling out for my pro card. And if I don't get it this year, I'll get it next year. And, and you're like, you haven't earned your stripes yet. I think there's a certain level that you need to get to before you have. I think it's kind of cheeky to talk about it. It's kind of a disrespect to the people who've put like decades into this sport, you know?
Yeah.
And
Ultimately, guys that are good enough are still going to win it anyway. Like, there's been guys in the past who have never really competed but have still loved training. And for me, I've got no problem with a guy who's been training all these years and then he finally decides, right, I'm going to give this bodybuilding thing a go. And he actually does fucking really well at it. It's the guys that just start bodybuilding and haven't been training. They think it's a walk in the park. And unfortunately, the fucking shit hits the fan at some point.
I think one of the problems is right now, and this is away from bodybuilding, just in general, because of social media, we hear everyone's opinions now.
Yeah.
Imagine 20 years ago, if there was a dude who, like, he may have thought, I'll get my pro card, but he wouldn't have had a platform to say it. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we hear everyone's opinion. That's why, do you remember in like magazines, like like the TV magazines, there'll be like complaints at the end. Yeah. People wrote in like they're complaining, oh, there was a bit of nudity on Channel 3 or something like that. Like it was like you only heard it was very, very rare to see like people complaining. Whereas now you hear everything. Everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a voice and a platform, and that's kind of the problem. So if people were just talking about getting their pro card, but I didn't hear about it, it wouldn't bother me. But I'm fucking subjected to it, and it bothers me.
I mean, the simple answer to that straight away is don't pay attention to it, don't follow them, but you still would hear about it. I get sent links and get sent snapshots of what people are saying. And look, you've got to have that element of self-belief as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, there are people, they're just, I don't know, like you said, Rice, they've got to put time into the sport, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
A lot of these new a lot of these new federations as well, like popping up now. You see that all the time. Like I don't even know their names, like, but guys are doing like one show and they turn pro, like pro, you know,
Yeah,
and you see that all the time.
and
What's that new one that popped up this year?
does it sound a bit like UKBFF? It
Yeah,
sounds like that.
something like that.
UKUP or something.
Yeah,
No,
something like that.
no, it's like an acronym like that. It's like it's not UKUP. It's I don't know. And it was up north.
Yeah, and a bunch of guys did their first show and turned pro in it, and it's like, well, you're not really a pro.
And you know what? Like what you just said, Josh, I actually fully agree with you. You could just shut off to that kind of noise and not let it bother you. I totally agree with you, mate. I totally like live and let live, and let people have their self confidence. All good. Unfortunately for me, I'm not. I like to think I'm easygoing, but those kind of things do piss me off. Don't get me wrong, I don't lose sleep over it. It's not like I'm lying awake at night fucking angry, but like it does wind me up because I'm someone who's put a lot of years into this, you know, and I can't help but be a little bit invested, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. No, 100%. I guess, I mean, this is nothing to you yourself, right? This is nothing to Dan McNabb or anybody else who is either a NABBA pro or PCA pro or any federation pro.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we all know what the main pro level accolade is: IFBB pro. So, you know, I've not achieved any pro status. So Ryan, you're ahead of me. Dan McNabb is ahead of me. He's a NABBA pro, and I respect the guy immensely. He's a real close friend of mine. But even he will be the first to say IFBB pro is what everybody wants.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, and I feel that ever since I've become a PCA pro, it's like the more time that it's left to sink in, is the more I've realised like how much it doesn't really mean what I want it to mean. Like I don't feel that.
Remember, Ryan, I can't remember someone put a post up, not a post up, but one of those tags that's like tag your favorite amateur bodybuilders, and they tagged you in, and you're like, oh, like you got funny about it. Do you remember?
Where was what? What was that?
Mate, someone.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Someone
yes.
put.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So it was tag your favorite amateur, and I was like, yeah, but I'm a pro. no, you're absolutely right.
What is good with that? Because you know, PCA, let's be honest, they get a lot of attendance to their shows. So what it allows you yourself to do now, mate, is compete at a higher level at those shows, if you know what I mean. The guys that are in the PCA pro class, like at the British and at the University of Scotland, were fucking brilliant. Yeah, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like you're right, and I am proud of what I've got. However, basically, just to sum up, just to sort of like copy what you just said, it's not the same, and I'm realizing it more and more as time goes on. I'm just like, it's not giving me that satisfaction. It's not like a lot, you know. I'm not at night looking at that pro card in my front room thinking that I'm satisfied. I'm not. I know it's not IFBB, and I'm like, so it doesn't give me the same satisfaction. So I totally get what you're saying, mate.
And another guy who we all know who had on last time, I think, and is my coach, Josh Maley, is both of those. He's been a PCA pro and a NABBA pro, and he's still
three.
And it's not until now he's got the IFBB pro at the Arnold's that he's feel like he's had that proper step up now.
Yeah, agreed, definitely. It's weird, and do you know what? This is very topical, actually. Did you see today? Do you know what I don't like? I don't like favoritism. Okay, in a federation.
100%.
I feel like Two Bros have been known for it as well, but PCA as well. So today, I don't know if you saw, they've done an amateur athlete of the year.
Mm.
And it feels like there's favorites. There's a lot of people left out, and on the female one as well, there's a lot of people left out. There's a girl who's like won. She won a pro card, then she won a pro show, 2 pro shows. She won the Worlds and the British Pro Show. Her name's Claire Murphy. She won't watch this, but like, shout out to Claire Murphy. She fucking won 2 pro shows and a pro card. She wasn't even shortlisted in the top 8 in the country. I don't know, and they just feel like it feels like they got favourites as well with the PCA.
Do they have a certain criteria for who goes on those lists that you know of?
Yeah, so on there it's got written next to him the accolade of the year. So in the men's one, there's a guy who didn't even do a British or the Universe or the World. So he didn't even do a finals, and he was in the shortlist for the top 8. And it's like, he's really
Lucas
good.
is in it, wasn't he?
Say again?
Lucas is in it, my mate Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. He's the guy I'm talking about.
Oh, is he?
It's not that he's not good. He is absolutely 100% good. There's no question. Like, please understand, there's no fucking doubt that he's good. But he didn't even do a finals, and he's put in the top 8.
Maybe it's because he was a first timer, and he was just such a like. I mean, what first timer looks like him? You know.
I'll agree. I
So
think
it could be that. Like they go.
I think going back. Sorry, Dave. You carry on.
No, you go on.
No, I was going to say I think that goes back to an earlier point though, because he's been training with SAS and been in the gym a long time. He just hasn't decided to compete.
Yeah.
And now he's competed. He is technically a first timer, so nobody can be annoyed that he's a first timer. He's just a very fucking good first timer.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I was at one of those shows. My gym owner and good mate Rich, who owns the gym I train at, competed against him in the overall, and Lucas won.
Yeah, Lucas is fucking ridiculously good. But I guess just from the criteria, everyone there had won a finals or an overall in a finals. I don't know. But again, I understand that it's very impressive to do it as a first timer. But I guess what I'm getting at as well is I feel like there's like politics. I'm a little bit put off by PCA because I feel like it's political. I remember years back it was. They used to always have people that they'd post up. I don't know if you remember.
The thing is, I think anyone... Sorry, Tim, go on.
I was just going to say, Josh, because you competed with PCA quite a lot as well back in the day. Do you remember a guy, a black guy, he won a British finals as a novice, very strong, very big chest, like 2017. Do you remember what I'm on about? He's a Brummie. Mikel White. Like they really liked him. Like they must be like close with like Ryan Alexander or whatever. They really liked him. They constantly backed him all the time. And I remember thinking, fucking hell, like for other competitors in his category, it's kind of annoying.
I think anyone that's won like an overall or like, you know, kind of deserved that though. I mean, look at Dan's client, Nat.
Yes.
He's a junior. He won an overall and then he won the British. So he should be on there.
He wasn't in it either, was he?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I suppose I don't know if there's a certain amount they need to pick from, or they've got to try and cut it off at a certain amount. I think, obviously, maybe I don't know. I'm trying to just think of PCA and what they would reply to that.
And let me put it towards you. So last year you won the sword at, where did you win the sword, Josh?
Graftism.
Yes, and then you went on to
Arnold.
Went on to Arnold's. Okay, so. But you had a fucking good year. That overall that you won at the Graftism was a fucking heavy lineup.
Yeah.
And imagine if someone just almost disregarded that a little bit and sort of favoured someone else. So let's say two bros said, "Oh my god," and they favoured another guy who'd won an overall another show over you. You're a pretty chill guy, and you'd probably be diplomatic about it. But there's a part of you that would think, "Why is he getting favoured over me?"
It has happened in shows in the past.
Yeah.
I won't lie. But it is like you've just said, I suppose you see this, and as you grow up, you get a wiser head. It's the attitude of a champion or someone who's going to do well that, irrelevant of those times and those situations, if it still doesn't go your way, you've done everything you fucking could have. Don't you can have your period of moaning and complaining about it. 24 hours, I tend to say. Once the 24 hours is gone, fucking get on with life. I think it's you'll just be affecting yourself if you let it fucking like boil away at you more after that, in my opinion, anyway.
Do you think they've picked people that have like kind of like a new? So like Ryan, like you've been on the scene for 5-6 years, well, longer, So they're like, well, Ryan, we're not going to put him in there because he, we've seen him enough. So they think, well, this guy is kind of new. Kind of like motivate him a little bit to come back and compete with us. They know you're going to go back, so
Yeah, maybe, but do you know what? Like today, it's funny you say what you said just then, Josh, and it sort of ties in what you just said, Chudley. Like it makes me doubt whether I want to. I don't know if I want to compete with him now. I think to myself, well, what's the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to be an IFBB pro. And then with this, like what I deem as to be favoritism, I guess it left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. So I think to myself, okay, well, I'll leave it then.
So you expect to be on there?
Yeah, I mean,
you had a good year yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, if you would think Nat would be on there, like the thingy's client, I did the same thing, right? I won class one at the universe, and I won an overall just before as well.
And
So
then,
Well, you won
competed in the pro
three
line.
overalls, didn't you?
I won two overalls and then at the universe.
Oh yeah,
I didn't win the
yeah.
overall at the universe.
Maybe because you're a pro, so they.
No, there was loads of guys, loads of pros on there. But
Oh right. Oh okay.
I
Well, I
don't
don't
know.
know then.
Yeah, I don't know. And like just to sort of round that off, really, is like maybe I'm just a bit bitter. And as you say, Josh, I immediately was annoyed, and then probably half hour later, I started being a bit more logical and thinking, well, he got it for this, and then I've started, about 2 hours later, I was like, you got to let it go because if it starts
In
bothering you, it starts
reality,
affecting your day.
Yeah.
in reality, what do you gain out of being on it? Like, does anyone care? Really? Does it matter?
Ultimately, it's just a popularity contest, isn't it? I mean, is the vote, I'm guessing, right, is for who is the best physique or out of everyone, correct? Or
No, who's had the best year?
right, that's my misunderstanding. Because if we're going on who has the best physique, it's got to be Matt Balmer as far as in my opinion, Matt's got a professional level, IFBB professional level physique.
But he was beaten by Alex Lord.
I guess it's apples and oranges, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I was there actually. I watched it happen in person, and yeah, Matt has got that level of density. I'll agree, but he was definitely nowhere near as sharp as Alex. So maybe it's just I don't know.
Wait and see what the results happen. But no, like Dave was saying, like ultimately, it really doesn't matter. Like it is a popularity contest for those sort of voting scenarios. It's if you let it. If I can understand why you'd be pissed off, but I would also see it as, oh well, let's just get on with it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And actually, I remember speaking to you after one of your shows, Josh. It might have even been the Arnold's, and you were quite diplomatic about it, and you saw it for what it was. You know, you weren't too cut up about it. I remember you walked out on stage, and there was like a reaction because you were. And I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, mate. I'm telling you the fucking God's honest truth, and you've probably heard this before. You were so big, it was like wow, like it was mad. When they called you out, I think you got fifth, didn't you? If you got first score,
But the Arnold, yeah.
It was the crowd reaction, whether you heard it or not. I don't know if you did, but it was quite a shock, mate. And I guess I'm kind of curious as to how that made you feel, and then how you got over that, and was it even a thing that you need to go over?
For the Arnolds,
yes.
So God's honest truth, I didn't look my best. I shouldn't have. Me and Dan have gone back and forth because Dan got fourth, Dan McNabb.
Yes.
He messaged me the next day saying, I think you should have placed ahead, blah, blah, blah. You have those chats amongst as competitors. But I weren't anywhere near my best, because Greg obviously did the graftism.
Yes.
So I beat Greg in the graftism. I don't know what it was. I'm never going to sit here and make excuses. I just wasn't on my best. If I had to put something on it, I don't actually think the graftism helped me because I like to just be under the radar. I like to just do my own thing, get on with it, and then show up. Winning the graftism, I had a lot more eyeballs. I did a few more podcasts. People are telling me how well I'm going to do at the Arnold's. I'm going for the win. So I don't know if that then created some sort of anticipation and anxiety for the show. It's the first show I can remember now I actually felt nervous for. I don't normally get nervous to go up on stage, but at that Arnold's, it was something felt off. So
it was
how it made me feel, mate. Again, I've sort of put it behind me now. It's an old result. It doesn't matter. I actually went on to Hungary and I presented a better physique at the Hungary show, the Fit Parade, and then I finished that season there. And I'm going to be judged on my next show in whenever that will be. Really,
it's really, again, I keep using this word, but it is really diplomatic, and it's something that actually. And Chadley, you know me, like I'm a bit of a hothead. I'm a bit of a sore loser. And it's traits about myself that I fucking really don't like. So when I hear someone of your level talking so rationally, it helps me, like, because I'm not that good at doing it. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit of a sore loser. So
at the end of the day, like what Josh is saying, like you can't undo the result, you can't change it. So what does it matter? Then in the end, no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I think on that though, what you just said, Josh, like we actually spoke about this with Kelvin. I think like keeping your prep quiet, so just get on with it and don't tell anyone. Do you think that help, or you do think that helps? Does it?
That's why, again, we spoke about what bodybuilding was like in the past, that you could just do your own thing. You'd have the guys in the gym that would be asking you how it's going, how's the diet, oh, but the cardio's killing you, blah, 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 all those normal questions. But there is something about social media now that people want to see the insights, they want to see the check-in pictures, they want to see the updates. Now, you don't have to do them, but it's certainly almost like I don't know what the word is. It's almost like a given, I think, with today's age that we live in. It's just expected. Oh, I wonder where Ryan is. He's 6 weeks out from the show. Does anyone see what he's looking like? He hasn't posted any pictures. Does that mean? I wonder what that means. He's looking like.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we spoke about is like as soon as you got like a bad day, and people are, oh, it's because of the prep, like it's because you're dieting, or you know.
Yeah, and it's just you don't need people in your ear. Like, to be honest with you, the first time I ever kept prep quiet was 2021. The first time I ever did it, and then I won the overall. And maybe that was just by chance. Maybe it was just, whatever. But I really feel like it made a massive difference. I hadn't won an overall up until that point. Then finally I kept it quiet and there was no pressure on me. My phone wasn't going mad. It was just chill. And I was so happy on that day. Like before I went on stage, I was just happy with my look. Everything went to plan. And I think it made a difference. So yeah, it's I'd recommend that to anyone. Just keep it,
Yeah.
But regarding being a sore loser, mate, I don't know. As I say, I appreciate hearing your perspective on stuff. So
is that why we never got to train with each other again? Because I outpressed you that time.
She did as well. Shit. Do you remember that session? You did one more than me on everything.
And the first thing you said was, "Nobody's ever outpressed me."
I don't mind it now because since then.
And then you moved to Bolton. Fucking moved to Bolton.
Hey, bro, and the thing is, you've got even stronger since then. Your pressing's gone like through the roof.
My pressing's gone better. Everything else you've just stayed about roughly where it is. But
well, at one point I was keeping up with you. I'm certainly not anymore. Fucking hell.
Mate, that's another thing we always speak about on the podcast, like strength. How relevant is that for gaining size? Because you see a lot of that now. Oh, strength doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like all like this, like two camps where execution is all it's about, and then the other camp is get as strong as you can. What's your take? That's one thing we kind of ask everyone on the podcast.
It's a good one, yeah.
As far as how I enjoy training, I enjoy to test myself and to go heavy within a 4 to 8 rep range on like the heavier set sort of thing. And then after that will be a higher, I don't know, 10 up to 20 reps, or if it's legs, it could be like up to 50 reps. Does it build muscle? Absolutely. It has to. But we're not, it's a funny argument. Like you say, it's gone on since the dawn of time. It's like, again, going back to Greg, phenomenal puller. He put a video up today doing 340 stiff leg, and it moved like fucking 100 kilo. Mad.
Mm-hmm.
How much muscle more has that given him? Don't know. Is he going to have to keep progressing and try and do that for like 400 kilo?
Yeah, I mean,
Dan just done it this year.
Say again?
He pulled 400. Dan, he's just pulled 400.
And again, look at the fucking back on him.
Yeah.
Well, so what would happen though, Josh? Let's say you kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger on your pressing movements, which you have. I've literally seen it happen to you over the last few years. But let's say your chest was not getting bigger, but your delts were, because this is what happens to me. Then what would your course of action would be if that was happening?
If my chest wasn't getting any better, but my shoulders were.
Even though your strength was going up. So what would you then do?
Yeah, so I would then have to look at, right, it's great that I'm incline pressing fucking 4.5 plates, but something isn't obviously transferring onto my chest. So I would change movements, go lighter and focus on more like negatives or pauses at the bottom, or assess what I'm doing. It's stupid to just keep doing the same thing and hoping you're going to get a different result.
And I think that's kind of my point, right? So the reason why I've just asked you that is because everyone goes on about how strength will, providing the form's good, will equate to more muscle. But then as soon as you're not growing muscle, let's say that's a genetic disposition, you don't connect with a certain thing, then straight away everyone says, well, then you start focusing on form. So I think my point is it doesn't definitely equate to more muscle, does it? It's kind of like it depends.
No, I said, I know I go back, I said it has to be that you build more muscle. Like you say, it depends on how you respond to those movements. Like, again, you said about Dan, a massive fucking deadlifter. That 400 pull was just incredible. I could watch it all day, and his back is phenomenal. But then take another example of like Larry Wheels, a phenomenal squatter or phenomenal lifter, full stop. Larry Wheels got shit legs.
Yeah,
true.
So where does that go in?
Yeah, and it's not as if he just does one rep. Sorry, Chad. And Larry Wheels does do rep work as well. You know what I mean? It's not like he's just doing singles all the time. You see him doing AMRAPs all the time.
Oh, he's trained with every bodybuilder on the planet. So.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Sorry, Chad. You're going to
say with Dan though. I spoke to him last. Like we probably spoke about an hour just about that fucking rep, that deadlift on the podcast. So because I did like 4-hour podcast, so we literally covered that to a full extent. And the way he sort of put it is he spent months of progressing each part of the movement. So meaning he trained the bottom and then he trained the middle and then he trained the top. So by adding pauses and then adding like deficits and then cleaning the deficit and then, so from that point of view, like, I guess depending on how you pull can change that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're not just waking up and going to pull 400 kilo. Dan's a very smart guy and a very smart trainer. At my gym, world's strongest man competitor, Lawrence Charlet, trains there. He has to build up for his competitions. His all-time best deadlift, I'm gonna say it's 440 something. I don't want to talk under what he did, but he could only peak for that and then had to come back down. You don't stay at that all-time strength. Similar to conditioning as a bodybuilder. You get in shape for your show and then you have to come away from that. You don't just stay in shape all year. Mm-hmm. It won't work that way.
Yeah, definitely. I've always found that with my strength, to be honest, like every time I get to a certain number in terms of like, if squatting or benching or anything like that, I always find that I get there, but I don't stay there all the time. I'll always find there's some sort of dip, whether that's like after a couple of weeks or whatnot. I don't think you guys feel the same.
I tend to now come away from wanting to push the envelope more with weight, because my own personal belief is as soon as you get up to there, the risk becomes much higher as well.
Yeah.
I've incline pressed 95 kilo dumbbells for 4, but I was fucking the whole time thinking, don't snap.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone who's done more than you on incline dumbbells? That must be a British record. Seriously.
Probably like JP.
JP's done something mental. It was at Dean White's gym, funny enough, with his 95 that he's got there. No, tell a lie, Dan McNabb has.
I've seen that. I didn't realize that. I thought they're 90s.
No, they're hundreds down at Trojans.
Wow. Fucking.
It was flat though, so mine's better.
That is some serious shit. I don't like for people who.
But again, I put my hands up now. I couldn't do that right now. Not at all.
Yeah. Well, you like the other day, even with an injury, you done 70 for like over 10.
Yeah, so I did something. We come back from Mexico and the flight just ruined my shoulders. It's getting better. I did the 80s again the other day and I got 6. So I'm just on the road to building it back up, man.
Yeah, people who don't really understand numbers. Like I was talking to Amy about it the other day. Like I actually referenced you, Josh. I was like seeing someone incline press. I think I said 90 to be fair. But I was like 90 incline dumbbells is just absurd to be getting reps. Like they put you in like a 0.00001% of people. Like it's crazy. I don't think people realize quite how hard that is.
But again, like I say, like with Greg and Dan, seeing those, I've pulled 340. I have held 340 in my hands and it's fucking heavy. And then Greg is now repping it and Dan's done heavier than that. Yeah. And then there are people out there, Julius Maddox, who fucking bench press that weight.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think the standard is always going up. Like not the 90 kilo dumbbells, but it's normal to now be pressing the 70s. Like anyone that doesn't press the 70s, weak.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Think like
No, I'm a big
3-4 years ago, who the fuck was pressing the 70s or that we knew of?
Yeah.
Or that was like that many. Like you could probably count it on like two hands that people that could do that. Now, like if you can't press them, you're like.
I think what your gym goes up to, it automatically puts a ceiling on it.
Yeah.
So like I know people at leisure clubs and their dumbbells go up to 40. And not to sound like to take the piss or whatever, like 40-kilo dumbbells in the general public is a heavy dumbbell. But they're like, oh, I'm pressing the 40s and whatnot. I'm thinking that's halfway up my rack. Like there's still another 40 kilos to go. And there's gyms I've been to that have got like 120, 130 kilo dumbbells, and they're just in the corner. They're just not even getting. People don't even want to pick them up to struggle. They're just like.
Because no one can actually do anything. You can RDL with them. That's about it. What else can you do with a 130 dumbbell?
Even at that point, if you're going to RDL, it gets uncomfortable because it's just like
it would be easier on a bar to just load
up. Yeah, it gets in the way.
I've seen people doing like a dumbbell row, but it's just a load of shit. Like just fucking joking.
Jumping.
Yeah, but you know, I feel like that's a real good point. Actually, you know, you almost limit yourself in your brain. Have you ever been warming up, and when you get to about 30 or 40 or maybe 50, you think, oh man, it doesn't feel good today. Like it feels a bit rough. It feels harder than it should. In your mind, you think 50 should just be like nothing, but sometimes it's hard, and you almost limit yourself before you've even done the heavy shit.
Yeah,
you find yourself doing that.
On those days, it's just a scenario of find the weight that's gonna get to failure, isn't it? But you'll then also have the other days, whatever movement you want to take in, for example. Like let's just go back to deadlifting or whatever, because and then Brian, you've done fucking mega deadlifts. You get to 220, 260, and you pull it, and it's just smooth, and it feels like butter. And you're like, I got to go for something good today because it's just everything's clicking. You know, and I think those are the days when it feels good. You have to try and really fucking milk it. And there'll be people out there saying, well, you should be trying to make everything feel like those days. But we all know a bad night's sleep, you know, that could happen any night without any fucking warning. We would all try and make sure we get adequate hydration, adequate recovery between sessions, adequate food intake. I mean, we're all doing the same thing. Although people don't we're like, I'm not someone who wants to keep posting about it on social media. I know my food. I can tell you what I ate 6 months ago on a Monday at 9 a.m. because it's just the same process every day. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like you say, when the days it's just not there, you just got to train to failure and then leave it there, I suppose.
Yeah, I think sometimes though, even when I think it's not there, it is. Like so, I warm up and I'm like, oof. But then I'll get to my top set and like get a PR or something, and I'm like,
yeah.
Like it just happens that way sometimes. But, hey, we should get a conclusion on the first thing, which we fucking detoured massively on. The first point was people training and doing competitions without real love for it. Fuck them off. Get them in room 101. So if you can come at us with your next point, if you have one, if not, you're gonna have to freestyle it, mate.
I suppose, to be fair, it would lead quite on well from the topic we were just talking about regarding weights and handling weights. People attempting weights and going for weights that they just have no right and no respect to touch. Bent over rows, deadlifts, dumbbells, flat benching, leg pressing. Like, I know that there is a learning curve and people want to feel what these weights are feeling like, but I've seen guys that aren't very well built, quite slender, pull weights well. Like that. I hold my hands up, go fucking hell, fair play. You move that well. But when you see a guy like bent over row, and he's walking the bar out, and he's shaking like anything already, and he barely bends over and like just shrugs, and he's like, "Oh, good bent over row PR today." It's like, nah, I want a bent over row.
Do you get clients sending you stuff? Maybe not like horrendous. Well, fuck it. Do you get just clients sending you stuff, and do you call them out for it? Do you always make sure that you're fucking on that shit?
I think as a coach, it's your job to. It's your job to, you know. There's way of wording it for sure, it's being critical. I want to be critical in my own videos.
Yeah.
So
I think size doesn't always like. I was a lot stronger when I was a lot smaller. I mean, Ryan, you know,
Yeah.
like some of my biggest lifts, I was a lot smaller because like a lot of the stuff, especially the squat deadlift bench, they're a lot more like technical. So like, I think the first time I benched 200 on a flat bench, I was like under 100 kilos, and like no way I could do that now. But that's because you do it every fucking week, so you get like good at the technique. It's not so much actually muscular; it's more like mechanical.
Yeah, definitely. People get good at a movement. So an example of that would be Louis, your coach.
Yeah,
His back is his weakness comparative to the rest of his body, but he can pull mental numbers. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And he's just very, very good at that movement. I think like be that like genetic or be that like a mix of genetics and hard work. You know what I mean? So
I think especially with deadlifts, a lot of it is leverages. Like, same for me. Like, I can pull a lot of weight just because long arms, short legs puts you in a good position to be strong. I mean, so
yeah, but I think as Josh said, with like loading stuff up that you have no business doing, I see videos online, and as they're walking a squat out, it's literally like this, and you're like, man, what you doing? Fucking hell!
yeah.
And again, it kind of goes. We touched on it before, but it's everything has to be online now. And if people are doing it for kudos online, they're not doing it because they actually love the movement. They're not doing it. They just want people to give them praise. Say, well done, mate. You know, like that's it.
I think as well though, like again, going back to similar to competing, we all have done the time and the years in the gym as far as again, I started training when I was 15. And I can't remember what I would have been dumbbell pressing then, let's say 30 kilos. And throughout the years, it went to, all right, let's try 40. All right, let's try 45s. Right, let's try 47s. Fucking out, I'm at the 50-kilo dumbbells. And that is literally like my second warm-up now.
Yeah.
And like, it's just for me to look at like the younger lads, which I want to try and encourage young lads to come to the gym, to take it up. It will be the best thing for their life if they can get into training and have a training lifestyle, in my opinion. But just don't fucking rush it.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to get into a younger man's head. I mean, I don't know what you were like, but me and Chudley certainly were a bit more like Chud. If someone told you to not do those heavy benches or not do those heavy deads about 3, 4, 5 years ago, what would you have said?
Oh mate, I just want to fuck off. Like
exactly.
I mean, we've had and luckily, like me and you both kind of like competed with each other with like the weights, which it was mainly just me and you because no one else would kind of go near those weights. But it was like, and the thing is, because like someone comes up to you and like, oh, you shouldn't be lifting that. I'm like, I'm stronger than you. Don't you tell me what to do,
But in regard to that, then I haven't seen what you were like before. Were they legitimately good benches down the bar to chest and lockout?
I mean, always at the chest. But I mean, put it this way: the first time I benched 200, like I bounced it off my chest, and like it was like it wasn't a nice rep, but still got to 200. So, yeah. But then at that point, my 180 for 5 was good,
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. So I would, if that was in our gym, or my gym where I train, not our gym, but or my gym where I train, it would be like fucking hell, that lad is strong. I wouldn't be like, no, he shouldn't be doing that. I'd be like, well, yeah, he can handle the weight.
It would be weird because you wouldn't have never thought that Chudley could have lifted what he lifted. It's not that you were small, Chud, but you didn't.
Oh, what I mean,
you weren't
the
small.
size of. To be fair, like I was because like I was trying to stay under like 95, 90 because I was competing in powerlifting. So for me, that was small. To be 6 foot plus.
Yeah, you didn't look like you had it in you, but you did. You did.
Yeah, mainly on the deadlifts and the benches, but like equally again. You're doing it, so people see you like do it all the time, and you get like you like that feeling. It's almost like, oh, I'm gonna do more, and then you post it on Instagram, and that was it. You do it because like I'll post something, Ryan will try and outdo it. I'll post something, he'll try and outdo it, and then that kind of like I think that keeps you progressing.
Well, it's weird because like everyone always shits on anyone who like is doing stuff for attention, right? If you see someone only doing something for like people to say well done online, it's almost like it's shunned. But what are we all doing with Instagram? Like Josh, let's say you take a photo. I mean, why do you upload it? You upload it to share your journey, but you're uploading it because you want people to see it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
We're all trying to get a little ego stroke from Instagram. Anyone that says otherwise is a fucking liar.
yeah, man, 100%. But it's weird. It's like, as I say, we all try and like look down upon people who are doing that. We're all fucking doing it. You know what I mean? We're all doing it. So yeah, I think Instagram. I think the Instagram age or the social media age has basically made everyone a little bit different. It's made the whole scene very, very much. I don't know. Previous generations wouldn't have had to do the same things. I feel like we're doing things now to get social media clout. You know what I mean?
I think with the business side of things, though, it's massively helpful because, like, that's your platform to promote your business. So it lets us do what we do.
Yeah, I've always said if I didn't have if I didn't work in the industry that I work in with online coaching, I probably and I wasn't, you know, I do my competing and training, but if I didn't have Instagram for my business, I probably wouldn't have Instagram.
Literally had this conversation on Sunday. I feel like it would be nice. Imagine a world where you didn't have to, you didn't really, you weren't trying to like scope new business all the time, like, and you didn't have an Instagram. It'd be fucking. I always respect that. My brother's someone like that. My brother never goes on social media at all, and I'm always really envious of the way that he is. He's just very carefree, and I feel like I'm not like that, and it kind of pisses me off.
I think there's a fine line, like so. Like with you both of you guys, I'm not gonna like I can't speak about myself because I haven't done shit. But like for you lot, like you can see that with your stage accolades and the stuff you've done. Like you don't have to voice your like shit all the time. Like so, like I said, like now I've just come out the gym. I was on cardio to do the podcast, and I'll go back and do my other like, rest of the cardio. It don't bother me. I'm not gonna go on Instagram and be like, oh look, I didn't get to do it, so I'm doing it now. Or like Ryan, what you just said, like you still got to go and train. You're not gonna make a post and be like, oh, I didn't get to train, but I'm training now. Look at me. Like, no, you just go and get it done.
Yeah, I think it's so many people like will like put a video up of them doing their steps or something like that, and like I don't know, what do you want to fucking clap? Or what do you want a medal? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
almost like you do this because you want to do it. You don't. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have to expect a
Oh,
praise every time.
exactly that, mate. Yeah, I mean bodybuilding it should be like rewarding in itself rather than having everyone like pat you on the back every time you do something. You know.
Effectively, I think if you get to live a lifestyle as a bodybuilder or to train and do what we choose to do, you have to consider yourself pretty fortunate and pretty lucky anyway, because not many people get to eat 6 meals a day and train when they want. And, it is a fortunate lifestyle when you look at it. It's just the way on Instagram, like you say, oh, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning getting my steps in. It's like, you set your alarm to get up at that time, I presume. It's not like a surprise, is it?
Yeah, definitely. It's like everything, even like coaches who are telling you that they're working late into the night, getting everyone's plans up.
You got to get the work done.
Like, if someone's paid you, fucking do their plans, you cunt. Like, what are you waiting for?
And it's like if you didn't nap all day long, maybe you could have done it in that time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us, especially like for us that do coaching full time, like we can wake up when we want, we can train whenever we want, we can eat our meals whenever, we can prep every fucking meal fresh, right? And there's still people that online coaches can't even string a full week of training together, and they'll come up with excuses and shit. And I'm like, mate, there's people that have full-time jobs and still manage to do what you do better. Like,
what's this all about? Like, I see a lot of times I see people talking about how they keep having bad sessions. I don't know if you it's not a trend, but I just see it quite a lot with like influencer type guys saying about how they keep having bad sessions. I can count on one hand how many bad sessions I've had in fucking years.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Even if you're not quite as strong as you want to be, it's not a bad session, is it?
No, that's what I mean. If things aren't clicking as far as how a movement's feeling or whatnot, you just change your thought as far as, right, let's, if it was me, I would sort of go probably for more blood volume, supersets, drop sets, and just chase that side of the training rather than, when I go in and I'm on a pressing session or a deadlift or legs, you have your compounds that you're mentally getting ready for. But like you say, they should always feel 9 times out of 10 like they've gone well, but there will be the odd session where you go, right, sack that off. I'm just going to do leg extensions now and superset it with walking lunges into leg press or something.
What sort of on the subject of legs, what sort of leg volume do you do at the moment?
There you go, mate. Sorry, it froze.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. And what sort of leg volume have you got at the moment in your plan?
So since coming back, it's been a little bit of I'm trying to find back to where I was before going away, basically. But generally, before going away, it was all, mate. There was nothing really under 10 reps. It was all sort of 10 up to sort of 25, and then trying to think of what the actual set was now. Adductor, seated ham, extensions, leg press, hack squat, something else I can't remember, but yeah, all a lot more volume, top sets, drop sets.
And what about frequency as well?
So I do split, so that would be like my main leg session, and then I have a hamstring and glute calf day. It's really boring, but I make sure I still get them.
What's your least favorite thing to train then? What you just said.
As far as because I'll pull on my back day. So in my hamstring day and calves, I have like a single leg, stiff leg that I have in there. But yeah, the ham and glute, it's like a booty workout. I'm a bikini girl for that session.
Oh, I fucking hate that shit. You like that,
Brian, you say the same thing. Like that's your least favorite session. Like my hamstring sessions are my favorite sessions because that's what
movements do you have in there?
I got my deadlifts in there.
There you go.
That's literally all I look forward to. Like all week, I'm like, right, I get to do deadlifts.
Yeah.
But even when I got deadlifts, I'm like, I dread it because my lower back always niggles.
Yeah, but you hate deadlifts. That's why.
Yeah.
You're not deadlift as much now, then, right?
No, mate. If 250 is like my cut-off point. For me, 250 is about a 70% chance I'm going to be okay. Probably about 30% chance I'm just going to go wrong. Yeah. And then the heavier I get, the shitter that ratio gets. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. 5 plates, I'm okay, but anything more than that, it's just no.
Yeah.
I've got issues, man. I don't know what it is. It's like my spinal erectors just to the right-hand side. I don't know what it is, but
no, mate. I've had it for months. I was struggling to walk at one point. I didn't do any pulling. Loads of physio, rehab work. Eventually got put through for a scan, and they come back and it's given me, because I've only started pulling in the last 2 weeks again now, and it's given me, because the scans come back that they've said there's nothing they can see, it looks all fine. So it's given me some confidence to go into those sets again now. But mate, you don't need to tell me about fucking aches and pains and how it feels, and it's definitely not worth it. I can say to that.
What was yours? Just like general wear and tear, or was it a thing? You did a thing, and
I was helping my dad on one of his jobs. He's a builder, and I helped him move something. I thought, that doesn't feel very good. And then since then, it was like waking me up in the night. I couldn't driving long journeys in the car. It would feel fucking awful.
I think that's bodyweight related though, because like
when I'm heavy, it's definitely worse for sure. Yeah.
I think as well.
I know, like when I'm past a certain body weight, I'm like everything just feels worse.
Today I went fucking Christmas shopping and my lower back was fucking screaming. Like
I think those are the worst ones when you're doing normal activity. I love training, right? It's always going to be my passion, and I can put up with aches and pains from training. But when you put your socks on and it's painful, or when I can't think of any other normal thing, or like you say, to walk around with your missus on a day out and she's wondering why you're so agitated and angry, and it's because your back is absolutely wrecking and you're just leaning on everything and you're sweating. You're like, yeah, that's not the fun part.
Yeah, that's it. Well, what's the biggest weight that you pushed up to?
Before going away, I was about 142 kilo in the morning weight.
So fucking big, mate. I think me and Amy used to go for walks. So I was 137 and Amy was 64. And we're walking together and she's fine. And I'm obviously, you can imagine, right? I'm dripping with sweat and she's like,
asking you to speed up.
Yeah, she's like, hey, what's up? Why are you breathing so loudly? I'm like, fuck you know, like it's a different game completely.
Do you have sleep apnea or anything, Ryan?
No, Mate,
No.
first time I ever got to 300, I was really bad and I thought I was going to need it. I'm fine now. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
You have it, don't you? You got the CPAP.
Yeah. I was going to make a post about it because it's one of those things. Like again, everything we just spoke of. When I was 15, 16, getting into training, doing my first shows when I was younger, I only saw obviously the highlights of Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler and all the guys, but nobody told you about the back pains and sleep apnea. I mean, I've got used to it now. It's completely normal. But when I first had the actual sleep apnea, as far as stopping breathing in the night, that was fucking horrible. I felt dreadful all the time.
Was it because it was dreadful as in when it happened or as in the next day when you're fucked?
Yeah. So you'd wake up feeling like trying to gasp for air. And then in the morning that you were going to get up, my alarm went off. Mate, you just had the biggest headaches, like as if you'd been holding your breath repeatedly. And I mean, this is when I was 26, 27 when I first got it discovered. And I couldn't get to like midday without having to go lay down somewhere for like a bit of a nap. Wow. I was like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't be feeling like this at this age. So then, and I was snoring like mad, like you could hear me from any room in the house, sort of thing. And so I ended up going to get it. But I know a few other guys. I know Nath Styles has got it.
Dan McNabb?
I don't know if Dan. I think
Dan struggles. He really struggles.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, he does actually. Yeah, I remember.
So since having that CPAP, has it dramatically improved?
Mate, I literally can't sleep without it now. Yeah.
Oh, mate, how's that working for the sex life?
I mean, I don't tend to have it on when we're doing that.
But you get into bed and you're like, hold on, babe.
Yeah. Yes. Well, luckily for me, she wears eye mask. So as soon as she puts hers on and she rolls over, I can just fucking put
that is practicing safe sex right there, isn't it? Just don't have it.
what she can't see, it makes it happier for her.
What's that, Chad?
You just get used to it, don't you? Like
what having that thing on?
Having it on, yeah, having it on at night.
I guess so. If
you get up, if you get up for a piss, because when you like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I get up for a piss like at least twice a night.
Yeah.
So how does that work? You take it off.
It's real. Like it's as simple as brushing your teeth when you've done it for a little while. Like for me, it is so normal now. It's just a scenario of I'd wake up, it'd be on, and I breathe better with it. So I need a piss. You just turn the machine off, unclip the mask, go do it, and come back, and then chuck it all back on.
On prep, them times when you're loading up water and you've got to do like somewhere between 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pisses in a row. Yeah. That is a cunt, I bet.
Well, mine, I'm adamant, is very much affected because of my weight. When I get down to my lower body weights, I will have nights where I just think I'm not fucking wearing it tonight, and I actually get away with it. Right. I still might snore a little bit, but it's particularly when I get heavier that I have to have it then.
Yeah.
Man, this is funny. It's funny what people, as you said at the beginning of this, like bodybuilding, what you don't realize about bodybuilding, you see the mass physique, you see him in the gym doing these poses and you think, fucking hell, that'd be great. Love to be like super muscular. But they don't tell you about these shitty bits, do they? They don't tell you about it.
But again, I think, remember what you just said about we all do it for ourselves. I wouldn't change it now. I still love doing this. And there are days where I feel like, fuck it, I'm just going to take up chess and just not do this anymore. Yeah. But give it 2 days of me playing chess or like not training and I'd be like, I fucking miss it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'd want to go back to training again.
I always moan when I'm eating because it feels like I'm just constantly fucking eating and my weight is barely going up. And Amy's like, well, just don't eat it then. And I'm like, fuck that.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm moaning, but there's no way I'm stopping. No way. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we get a conclusion again, and then we'll try and get one last point before we go. I think we've been roughly about an hour or so. So, what was even that point? We got off on too many tangents.
Yeah, people using weights that they shouldn't be using.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a time and place to touch new weight, but be smart with it. Of course, be smart with it. So yeah, mate, if you can They're gone. Sorry, Chubb, gone.
No, yeah, go on. Yeah, forget it. I wasn't going to go on another tangent.
Yeah. That's all we fucking do, mate. That's all we do.
Yeah,
So, yeah, Josh, mate. One more thing. I'm sure there's plenty of things to piss off, but one more if you got it.
I guess it's not really one. It can piss me off at times, but I don't. There's not really a specific thing for it. But basically, bodybuilders and people that compete getting offended when people are critical of their physique and not them as a person. Like you say, I can talk about everyone in the amateur scene, some guys I know in the pro scene, and I can talk about them as a person, and they're all fucking wicked. And I can also critique them, and it should have nothing to do with how I hold them as a friend or how I hold them as a person. But as soon as you say, or tends to be, if you go, oh, yeah, his arms aren't that good, though, are they? It's like, oh, you prick.
Yeah. Well, so that, mate, that's a really good point, by the way, firstly. But secondly, okay, so you and I, we get on, right? And we're training together and you're whipping my ass again, right? And then you, at the end, you do a pose, you take your top off, you take your pants down. Sounds a bit weird, but yeah. And then I'm watching you pose and I say, you look good, mate, but your legs are a bit undersized.
Yeah.
It's a kind of, I know what you're saying, and it doesn't mean that I don't like you, but that is kind of shitty, isn't it? It's kind of shitty.
I think you also need to be able to know these things yourself, so that when other people say them, it doesn't you don't react to it. I know. I still need to try and get my legs better. They've been a focus.
By the way, I wasn't saying it because your legs are bad. I wasn't saying it.
No, mate. Like I said, I will be the first to hold up that I need to balance my proportions out with particularly more quad. I'm seeing from the side that my hamstrings are getting a lot better. And then somewhat from the back, but lower body and quads is something that still needs to improve massively. I get coached by Josh, and nearly every podcast I've heard him on or interview that I've heard him on, someone or something will get brought up about his arm training, and he knows it. You don't need to tell Josh that his arms need to get better. He's trying everything he can to get them better, but he's also still got a fucking top professional physique.
Absolutely.
I think that comes in if you ask someone. So if you say, Ryan, like, what do you think I should bring up? And Ryan says, you need to bring your legs up. But if you don't ask him and you message him like, you got a really nice physique, but you need to bring your legs up, that is cuntish because you haven't asked him. So shut the fuck up. But if you ask him, then that's fine, Do you know what I mean?
I guess it depends if you're on a competitive level or not.
Yeah, or how he comes across, because you don't have to say, oh yeah, you legs are shit. You can like,
yeah,
yeah.
It's all in the delivery.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also it depends on who it comes from. So if it's someone that you respect,
yeah,
it might hurt because you actually respect them. But if it's someone that you think, yeah, fucking whatever, it will make. But
will it really hurt though? Because so if someone says to you, Ryan, you need to bring your quads up, like you're not like, oh my god, I've never thought of that. Like, wow, like you know that,
Yeah. I guess
so. It's not like I'm telling you something that you're like, I've never heard this before. I didn't even know.
Do you know what one of the problems is? I think is that you don't get tone. When you read a text or you read on Instagram, you don't hear the tone that it's said in. So sometimes you might read something and you'll think, why has he been shitty? But actually, if you spoke to me, I would just tell you, hey mate, and it would be nicer.
Yeah.
I think so. On that note, then, Josh, what do you feel on your physique lacks or is a strength or where do you want to take it for next year?
Again, mate, for me, as I break myself down critically, there is a general consensus that all over, I'm a tall guy. I still need to put on mass everywhere, but being a tall guy like yourself, the sweep and the thickness of the sort of leg is an area that you see is quite regular, unless your name is Jody Johow or Josh Maley. So again, even there with Josh, you can say about his arms, but what you got to say about his fucking legs then?
Ginormous, yeah.
He's got some of the best fucking legs I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed. It's weird, isn't it? As you say, being tall, it just means everything's just so strung out. And I don't think, again, it's one of the things that shorter guys will not ever they'll never grasp. the fucking time you have to spend to fill out a physique. You know, I think you're 6'3", you're same as me, right? 6'3", 6'2"?
I'm about 6'2", yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and to have your level of muscle mass at your height is pretty astonishing, to be honest with you, mate. And what's crazy is that your feedback is still you need more mass.
Yeah.
How mad is that?
It's like you say, it is a shorter guy, should we say, sport, I suppose. If we look at the Olympia, most of the guys, I mean, particularly Haddy and Derek, they are quite a lot shorter, but you're not getting many guys over sort of 5'10". Andrew Jack is probably the biggest guy on there.
Yeah, Samson and Andrew. But then the criticism is that they're lacking a little bit of density compared to the shorter guys, you know. On that note, kind of almost, who do you have as your top picks for next year's going for a pro card?
Out of the amateur guys in Britain,
yes, mate.
It'll always be the same suspects, I suppose. So, Greg's got to be in there. I think Andy's going in for surgery, I believe, after I last spoke to him. But he'll probably do something next year. Andy Scott, Johnny, he's only just missed out on it again. Poor fella. I personally thought he had it at the William Bonac show, but I don't know if he's now going to have a bit of time off. It's been a long year for him. I don't want to speak for him, but if he is competing, he'd be in the mix. Who else we got? Connor. Connor likes to show up randomly and chuck his hat in the mix as well. Trying to think who else there is now. Probably missing someone else out.
And McNabb?
Big Dan. I mean, it's funny you say that, right? So Dan, I hold Dan quite high. I look at Dan as a pro. Like for me, I can't. Every time I see him, he's just so thick and dense, and he's got everything there. Admittedly, he probably would say the same, that he needs to still bring his legs up a little bit. But I remember when I first saw him at a NABBA West show, and he just looked monstrous. Like this is back years and years ago. So yeah, if anywhere Dan can go, Dan will always be in contention for sure. Nafe's obviously now a pro, so don't need to worry about Nafe. But yeah, mate, there's going to be loads of guys. Yourself, I presume you're doing 2 pros next year.
Yeah. I heard again, you know, to cover a point that we went about earlier. Don't really want to talk about the shows because you don't want to, don't want to make a big hoo-ha. Just want to do your thing. But I think there's a few of us doing earlier shows.
Oh yeah, mate. Look, as far as like I said about, I don't like to be with what I'm doing, whatever. I can tell you, yeah, I'm planning to do the first one in March, 2 bros, and then I believe the first open qualifier is for like 8th of April.
Yeah, that's the same as me, to be fair. So we're doing that as well.
There we go.
And are you? I guess it depends on how it goes, but there's also Portugal and Sweden, and then Ireland as well.
Yeah, I mean, I very much do the first one, see how it goes, and then make decisions after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I've been off season all of this year. Got married, honeymoon. It's fucking brilliant. So I'm had enough of eating, and I want to get straight into prep as soon as possible. And I just want to get straight into doing the shows, basically.
Yeah, man. 100%. Congratulations, by the way, mate, as well.
It was all brilliant, mate. Couldn't have asked for it to have gone any better. Although I keep forgetting to wear this fucking thing.
Oh, shit. But yeah, it's as you say, like it's almost like a good thing. Like I always find with bodybuilding, every time I'm in off season, I'm sick of food and I want to go to prep. Every time I'm in prep, I'm sick of being hungry and energyless. So it's like I'm always satisfied and ready for the next bit.
The grass is always greener, as they say.
Always, man. I've been in off season now for 7 months, and I know that I could probably do with a bit more. But honestly, I'm 35 now, and I don't enjoy being in off season too long. It starts to become a bit tedious for me. Yeah. So I'm gonna jump in as well. So
sure, man.
It'd be good to share the stage with you, mate. Definitely.
I think there's going to be a few on that one. Big Jim's doing any, I believe.
Yes. Yep. Jim Giorgio. Yep. So you, me, Jim Giorgio.
I mean, that alone would be a good supers. So
yeah, maybe Greg Taylor. Maybe I don't know if Connor's going to do it. Do you know Chad?
Connor? Oh no, well, you know what Connor's like. He's just like, he hasn't said anything to me, no, but he's always just, mate, he just, like what Josh said, he just shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
he's always in good shape, to be fair to him, Connor.
Definitely.
I think that's probably what hurt
far.
him. Would you not say? Like, that's probably what hurt him, because we spoke to him and he said to us, like, he was basically in contest shape for like a year. So, or 9 months. So that hurts you. Like what you said earlier, you can't maintain that. So you got to kind of like get in shape and then do the show and then come out of it. So I think now that he's done a proper off season, he's going to come back really, really good.
Yeah, I don't know when he stopped prep. He hasn't been off that long. I think maybe 3 or 4 months, perhaps. What on that note? Then, what would be the shortest off season that you would ever do, or would you ever say for a client as well? How long would you say that is, and what's an effective time?
How long would I give an off season?
Yeah, for like yourself or for a client. I guess someone who's like of a decent level.
I mean, realistically, you want to try and give yourself as long as you can, in my opinion, so that you can allow that new muscle to stick as such. It's great that you can put on however much weight or much size in 2-3 months. More than likely, when you go back into the prep, that will be the first tissue that comes back away. That's why for me now this year, getting up to the way I got to it, all right, it's weight, it doesn't really matter all that much, but I'm confident when I'm looking at my pictures that I'm sending over to Josh that there is new tissue there, and I've been holding it now most of the year. So
and it's not like you're out of shape, is it? It's not like you're like holding loads of fat either.
I find you must find this as well. The more shows and the longer I do this, it's harder to get fat in the off season.
Yeah,
my body reaches like a certain set point, and if I had to go over that, I'd have to really eat quite a lot of shit.
Yeah, definitely. I find with my structured food as it is, it's almost impossible for me to get fat. For me to get fat, I have to have off plans. It would have to be like probably an off plan every day, probably on top of my normal food.
Well, we literally spoke about this, didn't we? Like, it is that the more, like, especially like beginner guys, they'll ask, you know, oh, how come like you get to eat so much and you don't get fat? And you're like, because I've done it for a while.
Yeah, earn your stripes, man. Earn your stripes. Definitely. I feel like this is like even now. So I was ill recently, and right now I feel like I'm a little bit down. So I'm 295. So I'm about just over 300 in the evening, 295 in the morning. And for me, I feel small. Whereas previous off seasons, this would have been my top weight. Whereas now I've come down to 295, and I feel, do you know what I mean? So it's like it's a testament to the level. If you could have told me like 3 years ago I'd be 295 in this shape, I would have been like, oh fucking hell, you know. But it just takes time.
Yeah. What was your peak at like 2-3 years ago then?
I come across a photo. Literally, the reason why I say that as well, you get like a memory come up.
Yeah.
I was 128. So was that maybe like 285? I was 285 in 2019.
Well, so that's only 10 pounds up.
10 pounds up, but in better condition as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it really does make a difference, you know. There's, you know, like Josh as well. I'm sure you like when you're on prep, at certain points, certain things will come up, like a certain vein or a certain like thing you'll start noticing, your serratus or your, I don't know, something like your Christmas tree. There are certain things that you notice at certain body weights.
Oh mate, yeah. I mean, as far as if I look first thing in the morning now, you know, I'm not ever trying to say that I'm in really good shape, but if I flex and whatnot, I've got visible serratus and abdominals. It's just the hardness and the condition that isn't quite there that will come through prep, obviously. I have good shape, and I'm not going to call them cuts, but I have lines in my legs at the moment. But yeah, there is fat. There is 100% still fat on my body, but the tissue is certainly there to be shown. It's just when come prep to retain that and hold that, and then work the fat and the water off of it.
Yeah, as you say, if you just get up to a certain weight and then immediately start cutting from that point, the weight is basically like, it's really superficial. It goes on, it comes straight off again, you know. But yeah, you've been in off season for a year plus now, right?
As such, before I went away. So talking about the weights, I come back, and to get my appetite back, Josh cut my calories by just about 1,000, I think. I come back from Mexico, and it was just, yeah, I was a bit of a state. I was still about 140, 141 kilo. Cut calories, and I think I'm about 138 now. But like you said, it's funny, after being 142 down at 138 now, I'm like, oh, I feel light, feel fast,
agile.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you notice like your weaker body parts flatten off real quick as soon as you lose that initial bit? So 142 to 138, do you lose a certain body part?
I at the minute, I just feel like there's a definite fullness that I don't feel like I have right now. And I think it would only look that weight that is gone is probably majority water. I'm not that stupid to think it's fat. But yeah, obviously being into not a lot of things cycle wise at the minute as well, I know that's going to play a role come start of prep. So I'm not stressing anything about what my body weight actually is right now. It's very much more so of getting myself in as good a position as possible come January, really.
It's a bit of a mind game for me because I'm similar height to you, but you outsize me in terms of body weight and just we're just a fucking unit. But I need to get that out of my head, because if I start thinking about that, then I start thinking, well, fuck, he's bigger than me, he's the same size as me, height as me, like, and it gets in my head a little bit. And I've got to tell myself, I've got to just do your own thing, come in as good as you can, because it's not just about size, right?
You can, mate, play your game, because even with, again, going back to the Arnolds, Greg and Andy were probably two of the lighter boys up there. Me, Mark Joyce, Dan McNabb, Nath Styles. We're all, well, Mark's not very tall, but he's also now a pro as well, thick as a house. But yeah, Greg and Andy were probably two of the lightest in terms of body weight, but they were first and second.
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, it's something I've always sort of, when I was younger, I was, I've got to get heavy, blah blah blah, big as you can. But it doesn't mean shit when you're on stage.
No, it's true. It's true. Right. But to go back to your point, to your third entry, saying something about someone's physique doesn't mean that you dislike them. It's weird how sensitive we are as bodybuilders, right?
Yeah.
We're in a sport where we're being judged by people, then we get judged by people, and then we cry our eyes out,
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Just criticism.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it criticism. Critiquing, should we say.
Yeah.
The tone and how you deliver it is massive. Same as the tone as when you've got to tell something to your missus.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to tiptoe around that shit.
How you tell her it and how you come across of it would be more important than the fucking message itself.
Yeah. It's not what you said, it's how you said it.
Exactly that, see?
Yeah.
So we as bodybuilders are just as bad as our missus.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Right. We should call time on it now. Finish off with that one there. I absolutely think people should be less sensitive, and this is coming from me, who's quite a sensitive guy when it comes to this sort of shit. But yeah, people need to just separate the two. How your physique looks and how you are as a person are not interlinked. Do you know what I mean? So completely agree with me.
End of the day, I always think of it like we're doing this for fun. Like, yes, like I think we take it a lot more to heart, because like bodybuilding is like a 24-hour thing. So you got to eat your meals and you got to train, you got to cardio. But like, say if you play golf, you got to do the golf and that's it. After it's done, you're not like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, whereas with bodybuilding, it's like 24/7, but equally, it's still just a hobby. It's just your hobby. Even if you're a pro, it's still just a hobby for most of us,
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think a lot of people could do with lightening up a little bit as well. I think there's a lot of very, very serious bodybuilders, and sometimes it's a bit like, you could do with all just relaxing a little bit about the whole situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, right, mate. We're going to call time on that. Oh, my dog being quiet. All right, yes, we're going to call time, mate. I really appreciate your time today, Josh.
It was all good. It was really enjoyable.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Right. Catch up, mate.
Catch up, guys. Have a good one.
Everybody.